You can squat 400 pounds, deadlift 5, bench your body weight twice over. But the moment your grip fails, none of that saved you. I have spent the last 4 years working with strength athletes across 3 continents testing this, and every single one of them, regardless of size, regardless of years in the gym, had the same catastrophic weak point: their hands. And every single one of them fixed it with the same 3 moves I'm about to show you today. Not theory, not guesswork, tested, proven, and ranked into what we call the Silverback Standard. Welcome back to Primal Unleashed. I'm Dr. Aris Thorne, and if you are here for the first time, let me tell you exactly who this channel is built for. Not the man chasing aesthetics, not the man training for approval, not the man performing strength for an audience. This channel is for the man who wants to be genuinely unbreakable in his body, in his mind, in the way he moves through the world. We operate by one standard here. We call it the Silverback Standard. Modern life makes us soft. Primal movement makes us unbreakable. We don't just lift weight, we reclaim our nature. That is the creed. And today, that creed starts in your hands. Here's what I want you to sit with for a moment. A silverback gorilla, the dominant male of the troop, his grip is not something he practices, it is something he is. That hand strength is not a physical attribute, it is his identity. It is biological authority made physical. For most of human history, yours was too. Men climbed, hauled rope, built walls, wrestled animals, carried everything they owned. Then, the desk arrived, the keyboard arrived, the touchscreen arrived, and grip strength, one of the oldest biological markers of male vitality in existence, began to collapse. Research published just last year confirmed what those of us in functional strength have known for a decade. Average male grip strength has declined more than 20% compared to the same age groups measured just 30 years ago. 20% in one generation. That is not age, that is not genetics. That is the bill modern comfort is sending to your body, and most men are paying it without realizing it. Not you, not today. Because in the next 20 minutes, I'm going to give you 3 specific movements engineered in sequence that will rebuild your grip from the biological floor up, and I'm going to make you 3 promises right now. Promise 1. By the time we finish move 1, you will understand exactly why your current training program has a ceiling, and it has nothing to do with your back, your legs, or your cardiovascular system. Promise 2. Move 2 contains a technique so counterintuitive that the first time I heard it, I thought it was wrong. Then I tested it, and it changed how I program grip training entirely. Promise 3. Move 3 is the one almost no coach is prescribing in 2026, and it is the one that will make the first 2 work at a level you cannot reach without it. Stay with me through all 3. Everything builds. Nothing is filler. Let's go. Before we go further, here's something you can use immediately. The next time you walk into a gym and pick up a barbell, any barbell, before you lift, do this one thing. Screw your hands into the bar like you were trying to bend it in half. Not a squeeze, a torque. That single mental cue, intent to rotate, activates your entire upper body support chain in under a second. More lat engagement, more shoulder stability, more force through the floor. You do not need to watch another minute of this video to use that. But if you stay, what comes next is why that works at a neurological level, and knowing the why will change how you apply it forever. Let me show you 2 men. Man A can deadlift 450 pounds with straps. Man B can deadlift 350 pounds. No straps, no chalk, nothing. Who was stronger? Most of the gym watches Man A and answers without hesitation. They're wrong. Strip the straps away. Put both men on a rope, a ledge, a bar, something real, something that doesn't care about your equipment. Man B wins, every time, without debate. This is what I call the illusion of gym strength. It is strength that is entirely dependent on external support.
And the fitness industry has built a multi-billion-dollar business model on it. Because straps and hooks and lifting aids let you feel strong, while the biological anchor point of all your pulling power, your hand, quietly deteriorates. Here's the physiological truth they're not teaching. Your hand and forearm complex contains 35 individual muscles, tendons, and connective structures. There are 27 bones in each hand alone. And your grip is the single most neurologically complex movement pattern your body executes during any compound lift. Here's why that matters. When your grip is weak, your central nervous system registers it as a structural threat. It fires a protective override signal, and that signal caps your total force production across your back, your lats, your traps, across everything. Weak grip is not a weakness in your hand. It is a neurological ceiling on your entire body. And here's the part that should genuinely stop you. The UK Biobank, one of the largest long-term biological studies ever conducted, confirmed that grip strength is among the single strongest predictors of all-cause mortality, cardiovascular risk, and musculoskeletal decline. Not your VO2 max, not your body fat percentage. Your grip strength. The hand that modern training programs treat as an afterthought is one of the most reliable biological signals your body produces about how long and how well you will live. We are not training grip for vanity. We are not training grip for a party trick. We are training it because the Silverback Standard demands that your biology tells the truth. And right now, for most men, it isn't. Quick checkpoint before we go deeper. If you've been training for more than 2 years and you cannot hang from a standard pull-up bar for 60 straight seconds, you have already hit this ceiling. You may not have felt it as a grip issue. You felt it as a plateau in your deadlift, a stall in your row, a shoulder that fatigues before your back does. That was your hands. Knowing that changes your next training session completely. Now, here's the framework behind exactly what we're fixing. Here is Promise 1 delivered. I told you I would show you exactly why your training has a ceiling. This is it. Grip is not one thing. Almost every program treats it as a single capacity. Almost every coach treats it as a single movement. And that is why almost every grip program eventually stops working. There are 3 distinct grip expressions. Each uses a different set of muscles, each operates on a different neurological recruitment pattern, and each has a specific real-world application that the other 2 cannot replace. First, crush grip. This is the power of closing your hand against direct resistance, a locked-down deadlift finish, a handshake that communicates authority, the closing force of your fingers around anything that is trying to resist you. Crush grip lives in your flexor digitorum superficialis and profundus, the thick bellies that run from your mid-forearm down into your fingertips.
Second, support grip. This is your ability to sustain a closed hand position under continuous load over time. A 2-minute hang, carrying heavy bags without putting them down, the ability to stay locked on a bar set after set without opening your hand between reps. Support grip is your endurance architecture, and it is almost always the first one to fail. Third, pinch grip. Thumb and fingertips only, no palm. This is your precision grip, targeting the intrinsic hand muscles and the adductor pollicis, the thick web at the base of your thumb. Most men trained have almost zero deliberate development here, and it shows in unstable overhead movements, in any rotation grip, and the difference between a man who feels in control of a barbell and one who is just along for the ride. The 3 movements I'm about to give you are not selected randomly. Move 1 builds support, move 2 builds crush, move 3 builds pinch, in that exact sequence, because support is the biological foundation that makes crush strength safe to develop, and crush strength is the neurological bridge that makes pinch grip functional rather than isolated. Take them out of order and you lose the compound effect. And this is what I did not expect when I first tested this sequence on a group of athletes 2 years ago. Their deadlifts went up, their pull-up numbers went up, their shoulder stability improved. Not because we trained their backs or their shoulders, because their brains stopped treating their hands as a liability.
When your central nervous system trusts your grip, it takes the protection override off your entire upper chain. It lets force through that it was blocking before. That is the real reward at the end of this. Not just stronger hands, a nervous system that finally trusts you. Let's build that. Movement number 1. I call this one the foundation. And I need you to understand something before we get into the execution. This is the movement that separates men who train grip from men who have actually built it. Because the axle dead hang is not impressive to look at. There is no bar speed, there is no weight moving, there's no dramatic moment. There's just you and the bar, and the question of how long you can stay. A standard pull-up bar is 28 to 32 millimeters in diameter. Your hand wraps it comfortably, your fingers overlapped, your nervous system is completely at ease. An axle bar, a fat bar, runs between 50 and 55 millimeters, nearly double the surface. Your fingers no longer overlap. Your palm can no longer compensate. Every stabilizing structure in your hand and wrist is immediately under load in a way it has never experienced before. This is not a harder version of the same exercise. This is a different neurological event. And the moment you get under one for the first time, you will know exactly what I mean. The execution. Stand beneath the axle bar. Overhand, pronated, shoulder width. Before your feet leave the ground, create active intent. Do not just hold the bar. Torque it. Screw your hands into the surface like you are trying to deform it. That rotational intent activates your rotator cuff, your lats, your deep spinal stabilizers, everything. The hang becomes a total body event. Now, lift your feet. Dead hang. Do not kip, do not sway. Arms straight. Breathe through your nose. Stay with what your hands are telling you. At 30 seconds, a burn starts. At 45, your forearms will scream. At 60, every instinct says, let go. Do not. That exact moment right there is not suffering. That is adaptation. That is where the Silverback is built. The Silverback Standard 2026. Beginner threshold. 30-second axle dead hang. Body weight only. If you cannot hit this, that is your day 1 marker. Record it, own it. Intermediate. 60 seconds with 25 pounds added via weight belt. Elite Silverback tier, 90 seconds with 45 pounds added, complete stillness throughout. Less than 3% of trained athletes reach the standard. It is not a destination, it is a direction. 3 to 5 working sets, twice per week, 2 to 3 minutes full rest between sets. Track your times every session. You will see measurable progress in 2 weeks, not months, 2 weeks. If you're still here, I want to give you something. Most people are going to click away before move 2, and most people are going to stay stuck at the same grip ceiling for the next 3 years. You're not most people, or you wouldn't still be watching. So right here, if this channel is giving you something real, hit subscribe. Because everything we build here is designed specifically for the man who is serious about this, and this is only the beginning. Now, move 2. This is the one I told you about in the intro, the technique so counterintuitive, I almost dismissed it before I tested it. Here is what most people get completely wrong about gripper training, and why getting it wrong is actively making your hands weaker. Movement number 2, the crusher. And I need to start here with the mistake because it is everywhere. Walk into any gym that has torsion spring grippers in the rack. Watch what men do with them. Open, close, pump reps until the hand is tired, set it down, feel accomplished. That approach will give you moderate results over a very long time, and it will quietly build toward a chronic tendon injury that sidelines your entire training for months. Here's why. Tendon tissue does not respond to pump training the way muscle tissue does. Muscle responds to volume. Tendons respond to controlled intensity with adequate recovery time between sessions. When you hammer high-rep gripper sets daily, you are creating micro-damage in your connective tissue faster than it can remodel. Most men don't feel this until it becomes a pulley injury or a flexor tendinopathy that takes 12 weeks of rest to resolve. The correct method is called weighted eccentric closure. Here's what that means. Select a gripper that is genuinely hard for you to close. Not uncomfortable, genuinely hard. 3 to 5 reps maximum. You should be working near your current ceiling. Step 1. Use your opposite hand to pre-close the gripper completely. Step 2, now use your training hand to resist the opening. Fight the spring all the way back to open. 4 to 6 full seconds of controlled eccentric resistance. That controlled release fighting the spring on the way out is where the real training stimulus lives.
The science on this is unambiguous. Eccentric loading produces significantly greater mechanical tension in connective tissue than concentric contraction alone. That means superior tendon adaptation, more resilient pulleys, crush strength that is built into the structural tissue, not just the muscle belly, which means it holds up under real load rather than collapsing when fatigue sets in. 3 to 5 sets, 3 to 5 full closures per set, full eccentric every rep, 2 to 3 minutes full rest between sets. Maximum 3 sessions per week, not daily, not 4 times, 3. I want to tell you something honest here. The first time I ran this protocol, I had been training for over a decade. I had deadlifted consistently over 400 pounds. I genuinely believed my hands were strong.
I picked up a 150-pound torsion spring gripper with full confidence. I could not close it. Not close, not even halfway. And in that moment, holding a piece of metal that weighed less than one of my shoes, unable to close it, I understood something that changed how I approach strength training entirely. There is the strength you perform, and there is the strength you actually have. Most men never find out what the second number is. The Silverback Standard is not interested in the first number. The Silverback Standard 2026, beginner threshold, controlled closure of a 100-pound torsion spring gripper, 3 clean reps with full eccentric resistance. Intermediate, clean closure of a 150-pound gripper for 3 reps, full eccentric, 0 compensation. Elite Silverback tier, full closure of a 200-pound gripper, the Iron Minds Captains of Crush number 3 or equivalent, with controlled eccentric management. Fewer than 0.5% of trained individuals reach this. Not to intimidate you, to give you a North Star that is worth navigating toward. Find where you actually are, not where you think you are. Then build from the true number. Before move 3, a quick practical win. The biggest programming mistake I see with the first 2 movements is loading both of them in the same session. Men run the axle hang and the gripper work on the same day because they feel like grip training takes no real recovery. That logic will stall your progress and inflame your tendons. Each of these 3 movements targets a distinct muscle tendon unit. They need separated recovery windows. The weekly architecture I give you at the end of this video solves that completely. Stay for it. It is the difference between this working in 30 days or not working at all. Now, move 3. The one almost no coach is prescribing, the one that makes the other 2 compound. Movement number 3, the plate pinch flip. And I want to be deliberate about why this is the final move, not because it is the least important, because it is the most dangerous to add before the first 2 are established. The plate pinch flip targets the thumb adductor, the first dorsal interosseous, the web muscle between your thumb and index finger, and the intrinsic hand muscles that control fine motor force under dynamic load. These are small structures. They adapt slowly. And if you load them before your support and crush capacity has been built, you create imbalances that lead directly to thumb strain and wrist instability. The sequence matters. Foundation first, crush second, precision third. Now the movement. Take 2 smooth-faced weight plates, 10 to 25 pounds each, pressed together, smooth side out. Hold them in a pinch, thumb on one side, 4 fingers on the other. Your palm must be completely clear of the plates. You are suspending the weight entirely through thumb to fingertip pressure alone. Now, while maintaining that pinch, rotate the plates 180 degrees. Top plate becomes bottom, then rotate back. That is 1 rep. This sounds simple. Pick up a 10-pound smooth plate, smooth side out, and try to pinch flip it 6 times, and tell me how simple it feels at rep 4. The reason this movement is so effective is the dynamic instability. You are not fighting a fixed resistance. The load shifts through the rotation. Your brain has to continuously recalculate thumb-finger tension to prevent the plates from separating. It is real-time neuromuscular grip intelligence, not just strength. The real-world transfer from this movement is immediate and dramatic, opening jars, steering through a sharp turn, controlling a barbell through a full Romanian deadlift, any overhead movement that requires rotation, any situation in real life where your hands need to make rapid micro-adjustments under load. This is the move that makes your hands feel alive, not just strong. Correct programming, 4 sets, 6 to 8 flips per set, 2 to 3 times per week. Start lighter than your ego wants to. The Silverback Standard 2026. Beginner threshold. Pinch flip with 2 10-pound smooth face plates for 6 clean reps. Full rotation, 0 plate separation. Intermediate, 2 25-pound plates, 8 reps, full rotation control throughout. Elite Silverback tier, 2 35-pound plates, 6 full flips, 0 gap between the plates at any point in the rotation. If you're here, your hands are operating at a level that the overwhelming majority of human beings alive right now will never reach. That is not hyperbole, that is the standard. Now the architecture, because 3 movements without a recovery-aware schedule is 3 movements that will eventually hurt you or stop producing results. Here is the Silverback grip architecture designed around the specific tendon recovery windows of each modality. Monday, foundation day. Axle hang, 3 to 5 sets. Record your time every set. This is your support grip session. Do not add any other grip work on this day. Wednesday, crush day. Weighted eccentric gripper closure, 3 to 4 sets. Full eccentric on every single rep. Do not touch a gripper any other day this week. Tendons remodel between sessions, not during. Friday, precision day. Plate pinch flip, 4 sets, 6 to 8 reps, full control. This is your coordination and thumb strength session. Saturday and Sunday, full grip rest. This gives you 48 to 72 hours between each modality. Each distinct muscle tendon unit gets a full recovery and remodeling window. No overlap, no chronic loading. Run this template for 30 consecutive days. That is the Silverback 30-Day Grip Challenge. At day 30, test against the benchmarks, beginner, intermediate, elite. Find your number, be completely honest, then set your next target with that real number as your foundation. Here is what I want to leave you with. Everything I've shown you today, the axle hang, the eccentric closer, the plate pinch flip, these are not exercises. They are a declaration. Every time modern life puts a shortcut in front of you, a strap, a workaround, a way to perform strength without building it, you have a choice. Take the shortcut and get a little softer, or stay on the bar and get a little more unbreakable. Softness is cumulative, but so is strength. Every second you hold that axle at the 55-second mark when your hands are screaming and every part of your brain is saying, let go, you are sending a signal to your biology. You are saying, I am not the soft version. I am the primal version. I am reclaiming what modern life took. That is the Silverback Standard. That is why we are here. Now, here's what I need from you right now. Not eventually, right now. Pick one of the 3 movements, just one, the one that you already know exposes your biggest weakness. Do it this week. Get your baseline number and then drop it in the comments below. Not the number you want to hit, the number you actually hit. That comment, that willingness to put your real number in front of this community, that is your first rep of the Silverback Standard. And subscribe. And if this gave you something real today, something you are actually going to use, share this with one man in your life you know needs it. Not 10 men, one specific man.
Because this is not just a workout, this is a standard, and standards spread one man at a time. In the next video, I'm going to show you why your wrists are the hidden failure point in everything we built today, and the one drill that bulletproofs them in under 4 minutes per session. You are going to want to see that before you start week 2. I'm Dr. Aris Thorne. This is Primal Unleashed. Modern life makes us soft. Primal movement makes us unbreakable. We don't just lift weight, we reclaim our nature. I will see you in the next one.